Skip, I feel energized.
Good.
But
good,
we
good,
still
good.
have 15 minutes more to go. We will welcome all questions. You can type below the Q&A, type it, and Skip will answer all the questions that you want.
Perfect.
In the meantime, while you're typing the questions, Skip, I would like you to summarize what you are covered, so that what you will say is here every day. I want you to summarize so that they can focus and put into practice what they hear from you the last 1 hour.
Sorry, say the question again.
Summarize the key point that you have covered.
Okay, brilliant. Well, first of all, we need to understand that the truth is that we are powerful beyond measure. And the three elements that we now get to experience life through, which is the body, the mind, and the spirit, and not one of them being more important, more holier than the other. And when we can learn how to give all of the aspects of what we are, when we can learn how to give it that freedom, when we can learn how to give it that truth, when we can learn how to activate it, because if we, like with the body, if we don't activate the body, if we don't move the body, then what happens? The body gets weaker. The energy levels go down. Our immunity goes down. And our creativity goes down. Our productivity goes down. And all of a sudden, what happens is the viruses, the illnesses, the negative thoughts, the mental health problems that a lot of people are experiencing in today's world, guess what? They can get us. The truth is, all that shows is not that there's anything wrong with us, but that there's more to learn. And when we activate the body, the mind, and the spirit every single day, then more life will breathe through us. And that's the best gift that anybody can give, is going into a relationship to bring more life into any relationship, whether it's a personal relationship or a business relationship. And that, you know, it leads me to why I'm giving away this 4-part series of the High Performance Mind Masterclass, so people can really learn how to take back control.
And one of the missing point we have not talked about is to alkalinize your body. This is a very, very important point. Maybe Skip, I'd like you to spend a few minutes to talk about alkalinity in your body.
Brilliant. So anytime that there's disease in the body, we know that there's going to be acid in the blood. The only place that we want acid is in our stomach to help us digest the food. But in our blood, what we want is alkalinity. And as we start to reconnect to the truth, just like this breathing that we just did then, what we're doing is we're alkalizing the body. And what we now know is that when we get alkalinity into our blood, disease cannot live or manifest in an alkaline environment. So one of the first things we've got to do is get the right type of oxygen in the body. Second thing we need to do is make sure that we're having lots of dark green leafy vegetables. And everyone might be, well, I don't like eating dark green leafy vegetables. Well, that's because you're acidic. Because what you've done is you've trained yourself to want something sweet or want some type of stimulant. And when we learn how to, this is again why I put Detox Your Life together, you know, the 5-day program that we run, so that people can come and they can start to cleanse out these poisons and these toxins, so they can go from an acidic environment inside their body to having this alkalinity. And when we start to get alkaline, our energy levels go up, our immunity goes up, our mood goes up, our body starts to function better, because all of our organs need alkalinity to function well. And organs are only going to break down in the body, and it doesn't matter what the organ is, but certain people do have genetic weaknesses, but they will only become a weakness if acid gets in the body on a regular basis. So we've got to learn how to create that balance between the acid and the alkaline. And we don't want to be right in the middle. We need to be round about 7.4. When we can get our pH to 7.4, so I just explained what pH is. So 0 would be pure acid. That acid would burn like a hole through metal. 14 is pure alkaline. We want to be in the middle, but just slightly alkaline, around 7.4. But the ratios are, it can take 20 parts alkaline to buffer 1 part acid.
How much is one Coca-Cola?
Oh my God. So if you have one Coca-Cola, you're going to have to drink at least 20 to 30 glasses of water after that to try and neutralize that acid that comes in. And, you know, coffee's the same. You know, when we have coffee, And I'm not saying to never have that stuff. Like, I mean, I wouldn't never have like Coca-Cola because that's just like processed gunk. But I know there are studies out there that have proven that caffeine in the right way can help. But if it's in the wrong way and the body's already acidic and then you go and put a coffee on top of it, then you're pushing yourself in the danger zone, because disease and illnesses, they can only live in an acidic body. Health and wellness, that's in alkalinity.
Yeah, there are a few questions there pop up, and I would like to ask the first question. It said, thank you for organizing this very informative session. A question for Skip. Only if it is not too personal. Tracy mentioned Skip took a year or two off to Australia. May I know what missions he was on, and he has attended your session in Singapore at the expos before. What was your mission?
So I fell in the trap of allowing the wrong type of programming in my mind. And I fell in the trap of, when I've earned a certain amount of money, I said to myself, I'm going to retire. And I achieved that. I earned a certain amount of money and got different properties around the world that I have, have the joys of going to with loved ones. But when I went out to Australia, I fell in love. And I went out there and I just put everything into that relationship. Said, right, we're going to retire on the beach. We had a place like right on Mermaid Beach, like 4 doors down from where Tony Robbins lived. And I realized that what I was putting my love into wasn't my life's mission. And all of us have a life mission. And I got out there, and it just became apparent that if I'm not doing what I'm doing now, if I'm not running the events, if I'm not sharing these teachings, if I'm not doing interviews like this, and literally my diary now is jam-packed every single day with interviews and us creating more courses and more experiences that people can connect to this truth. For me, inside me, there was a certain part of me dying. And I turned around to my partner and I just said, look, I want to go around the world and I've got to start doing this stuff again. Do you want to come? And she said no. And I had to honor and respect that this place at Mermaid Beach, she loves living out there. And we consciously split. We're still very good friends. But if I wasn't living my purpose, then inside me, I would have felt like I was dying. And it also came, Tracy, from when you remember when I fell down the waterfall and my tailbone got snapped and this wrist got broken.
I was there with you, observed the fall.
Yeah, you was there with me. And when I was lying on that bed and I went from being in so much pain to have these feelings of bliss coming through me, and what I realized that it came from the prayers from humanity, that experience that I went through woke me up, and I remembered it, and I was like, oh my God, I had the lesson and I still didn't get it. And what came up for me was that you got to dedicate your life to raising the consciousness within humanity on the planet. And that's what I've been doing since. And it's been one of the most unbelievable journeys to be back in this place, seeing more life come in people, seeing people take back control of their health and their wealth and, their relationships. It's a gift. It's a joy. So yeah, I'm very happy with.
We truly felt that the last 2 years, we felt the difference in you. Now I can see you that you are back to the 5 years that we were together again. It's great. So great that you are back. So the next question is that they are the life-changing. This video is a life-changing info. Would there be a replay recording of this session to us and share with our loved ones? Yes, I try my best, because this session is not like selling you anything or making money. If this is a good info, I will tidy up and blast it to you again so that you can share it with your friends. So the next question is, these are life-changing info would, the option cost was all vegetarian. Some of the students said the option cost, because in Wellmentors, we are only serve vegetarian food. So these participants are very concerned to push veganism to us. Yeah, we don't worry about that. Even if veganism is a very healthy veganism. You don't even feel the difference at all. Yeah.
And it's important for people to know that even though Tracy and myself and Aaron, we're all vegan, we don't come with judgment. It's your body. You've been gifted a body, and what you choose to put in it is completely your choice. All we're saying is there was once a time when I was raised on meat and dairy. So I definitely wasn't born into, and when I turned vegan, the only reason why I turned vegan is because I noticed the benefits, but my whole family thought I was weird. Friends thought I was weird. Now, over in the UK and in Australia, it's a buzzword, you know, people becoming vegan because people have more energy. They have a higher immune system. So I can tell people now, if they really want to be protected at the highest level, being on a plant-based diet is definitely something that people should at least try it, because if you don't try it, you're never going to know. But when you do try it, it's very important to make sure that you have live foods in it, because you can, there can be a lot of unhealthy vegans out there who are still having a lot of processed stuff. So making sure that we've got live foods in it, like for me, I could never imagine eating meat, dairy, fish, eggs ever again, ever again, because nothing tastes as good as this stuff feels. And this is whoever wrote that question, I honor them for writing the question, but what I want to do is ask them a question. Do they have a nutritional connection with the foods that they're eating, or is it an emotional connection? Because a lot of people in today's world, they eat for emotional reasons, and they're trying to suppress certain emotions that are going on, and they're trying to suppress it with foods that are dead. And what we want is all these negative, because when a lot of people have physical pains, and what I've learned is on the retreats that I run, people come with physical pains and their pains just disappear. And some of them attract emotional energies. So we've got to be able to move these emotions through us. And there's no faster way than being on live foods. No faster way.
Yeah. Aaron and myself have been vegetarian for a long time. We are practice loving kindness, loving the animals, protect the animals, and loving the environment. In fact, we make a lot of money so that we can put it back to the environment. Without we don't see the environment, this planet Earth is gone. That's why to us, taking care of the environment is the top priority. So for us, all our event, regardless of each country, we only serve vegetarian or vegan food in all our events. So we have to walk the talk. We have to walk the talk. Just because of to please somebody, we have to violate our own ethics. So we will not do that. So I'm happy that at the end of the session, a lot of students come to me like thanking me for giving them, they never eaten such a good vegan food or vegetarian food before. And they are so happy. I hardly get any complaint since 2008 until now. Okay. So the next question
my
is,
family, like so many times, you know, I invite people around for dinner and I don't tell them that they're not going to have meat or dairy. And they're like, oh my God, this was amazing. And they don't even, they get to the end of the meal and we can do starters, we can do soups, we can do snacks, we can do main courses, we can do desserts. And I've never had anyone say, where's the meat, where's the dairy? Because they're enjoying the food so much that they start to build a different relationship with the food, and they start to respect it a lot more as well.
Yeah. So the next question is, thank you for your sharing, Skip and Tracy. Skip, can you share what is your daily practice and to keep your energy vibration at a high level of frequency consistently?
So this is where now discipline comes in and consistency. Because if we don't activate the body every single day, then we're going to get number and we're going to get weaker. So I make sure every single day, usually when I wake up in the mornings, most times I wake up doing yoga. Literally probably 98% of the times I wake up, I'll do, well, first of all, I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have some lemon, I'll have some water, I'll squeeze some lemon in it. I take a handful of our chlorella. We've got our own superfood products as well. So I'll put alkalinity into the body straight away, whereas most people will put some type of acid in, where it be from a drink, or it might be a cereal or some type of food that creates acid. Now, when we put alkalinity into the body straight away, your body's defense system is going up. So for me, it's warm water, always warm water. And if you just take some hot water, even squeeze some lemon in that, that can really help with a lot of the viral infections that people experience. And then if you take something green, like for me, it's our chlorella product, straight away, the body is, you're just feeding it what it needs. Then I'll do some type of movement through the yoga. Then there'll be a mini meditation after that, where I'm going to visualize how I want to show up that day. I want to visualize some of the things that I want to get done that day. And then I'll go and have, after that, I'll go and have a live green juice. And in the live green juice, in it, there'll be kale, there'll be spinach, there'll be celery, there'll be some lemon, some ginger, and then I'll put another piece of fruit, like could be like a grapefruit or an apple. And then I take a scoop of our alkaline protein, because even if we're eating healthy, what we know we've done around the world is, because of the fast crop rotation in producing the same food to the supermarkets 12 months of the year, which isn't natural, what happens is the minerals get drained in the soils. And there's a 2-time Nobel Prize winner, his name is Dr. Linus Pauling, and he says that you can trace every disease, every sickness, and every ailment to a mineral deficiency. So if the minerals aren't in the soils, how do they get in our foods? They don't. And all of what we're eating, it only contains 5 to 20% of the nutritional value to 100 years ago. So we have to supplement. But the challenge is, literally about 98% of the supplements on the market, they're synthetic. They use heat techniques, which frazzles all the enzymes and all the goodness that's in it. They isolate their nutrients, and by the time it gets in the body, it's actually draining the body of life. So we created our own superfood. So within this alkaline protein, you've literally got more nutritional value in one scoop than what most people eat in a week. So I put a scoop of that in the green juice, mix that up, drink that. Everyone has that, you know, the whole family. I'm with the family at the moment, so everybody has that. Then after that, I'll go and have a carbohydrate meal, because we need carbohydrates for our cardiovascular system to work well. So usually in the mornings for me, it'll be something like oats. So I'll get jumbo organic gluten-free oats. I soak them in water so they expand. And within it, I'll put some goji berries. I'll put some walnuts in it, because like, as the ancients used to believe that all the Aztecs, the Mayans, and the Egyptians, they used to believe that foods, natural foods that the planet would make, they would believe that foods correspond to either a part of our anatomy, they would have a heating or cooling sensation on the body, or they would have a masculine or a feminine context. And if we look at something like a walnut comes in a shell, and it has a cluster in it, and it has a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere. And what part of our body has that? Our brains. So they used to say that if we eat just a handful of these a day, then all of a sudden, a lot of the brain problems that people are experiencing, they just disappear. So I have walnuts in there. I'll put some blueberries in there. I'll put a scoop of our recovery mix, which is another superfood blend, and that has raw cacao in it. So it's chocolate, real chocolate, not chocolate that has any negative side effects. And then I'll put some coconut yogurt on it, and I'll put some berries on top, and oh my God, it's just delicious. It's yum. So then later on in the day, I'll do a superfood smoothie. So within that, there'll go a banana, there'll be some berries in it. I'll put a nut milk in it, which could be like a coconut milk or an oat milk, or an almond milk. And then I put both spoons of our superfoods in that, supercharge that up. And again, I've got my parents or my family on that. And then later on that day, it could be a salad, a soup with some type of wrap. And then later in the evening, it could be like a sweet potato with, say, like some vegetables, like a big vegetable medley, big vegetable stir fry. So I eat little, but I eat often. And they say that if you want to live a long time and to eat a lot, eat little and often, because that speeds up your metabolism so that the body can get rid of any excess fat, and you're not loading so much food into the body that now drains the body, because a lot of people eat and they go into a food coma. So eating little and often, but plant food is key.
Okay. Skip, you have promised to give the gift to those people. There are more questions. We will continue to answer all the questions. Okay, don't worry about that. But I want to share with you, how can you give the gift? How can they get the gift before they leave? Because we are exceeded the time that we have mentioned. So I want to share with them, how do they get the gift?
So have you got the link? I sent you guys a link. I've got it on my phone, but I don't know.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay, perfect.
I got it.
Cool.
So
So all they need
this
to do is
10,000 gift today from Well Mentors and Skips. You can get a virtual training on high performance mind masterclass and also anti-corona implementation process. Maybe you can explain a little bit about what is this high performance mind mastermind.
So the masterclass. So the high performance mind masterclass is this thing up here. If we don't get in control of this, it can give us negative thoughts. Those negative thoughts will lower our immune system. Those negative thoughts will have us make weak decisions or toxic decisions. And then we start to create habits that we start doing the wrong thing again and again and again without even thinking about it. So what we've got to do is take control over this. So we created this high performance mind masterclass. It's a 4-part series. And it really tunes people into these higher frequencies where, first of all, we need to bring together the awareness of what is the truth. So number one, ironically, I'm not even talking about the mind, because so many people now are trapped into a certain part of their mind. They go into the reptilian part of their mind, or they go into a part of their mind where they're just trapped. And they can't even see the solutions outside of what they're experiencing. They just see the problem, and guess what? They become a part of the problem. You want to become a successful entrepreneur, you got to learn how to find solutions where everybody else is finding the problem. So what we do is the first one is all about getting back into the body, understanding the truth that when we get back into the body, then we can start to have this energy pulsing through us that children do. So first of all, we got to get from here to here. So the number one is all around that. And it's a very, very fun journey. Number two is really learning how to activate this thing up here at the highest level. So really going to the truth in understanding that this mind, when you get it activated, is powerful beyond measure. Because let me ask people a simple question. Can your mind make you ill? And we know people are going to say yes. Can your mind make you well? And we also know that the answer is going to be yes as well. So we've got to start to learn how to get a high performance mind, just this thing up here, because this works very different to the body. There are different compartments in the mind. And when we understand those compartments, now we can start to get the best from this thing up here. So we're not having destructive thoughts. We're not having negative thoughts. We learn how to have thoughts that can put structure into place, that can allow us to create, that can allow us to become the solution in any challenge that we go through. Number three is all about connecting to this abundance of energy. And there's many different levels of energy. There's universal energy. There's the energy from the sun. There's the energy from the moon. There's the energy from the body. There's the energy from the mind. There's the energy from the emotions. There's so many different levels of energy that when we learn how to tap into them, we can have that breathing through us. And then the fourth one is really making sure that on that journey, we're happy and we're having adventures. Because when we get all those four things locked in, then life, instead of it being a dull existence or something that keeps hitting us hard and hard and hard, we get into flow with life. And life becomes one big adventure every single day that you wake up. So that's the 4-part high performance mind masterclass. And then on the mini series around anti-coronavirus, there's actually some activations in there that people can go through, that every time they go through them, they're going to start to go into these high frequencies to boost up their immunity. Because if your immunity is boosted up, no virus is going to be able to get you. That's just the truth.